Hi yogis, my name is Tom and welcome to my yoga channel, Tom Yoga Om. In today's afternoon Hatha Yoga practice, we are going to stretch into our hamstrings, we're going to stretch into our hips, we're going to work on our core, and we're going to use our shoulders and our arms to get our whole body feeling energized. If you're new to my channel, you can support me by pressing the red subscribe button below and giving the video a thumbs up. And if you're back, welcome. It's so good to see you again. Let's get to it. Begin by coming to a comfortable seat. We're going to take 5 breaths to get ourselves settled in and grounded in the moment and on our mats. So take whatever position suits you. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Inhale through your nostrils. And exhale through your nostrils. 4 more breaths here. Tune in with how you're feeling, how your body's energy is doing, and how that physical body of yours is doing too. Notice if there's any tension or tightness, and see if you can let it float away on this final breath here. When you're ready, open your eyes and start to circle your shoulders. Keep breathing in and out through the nostrils. Loosening out around the shoulders and around your neck. And circle the opposite way. And come to rest. I'm going to loosen up the space around the hips now, so when you're ready, breathe into your belly and your chest. As you exhale, lean over towards your left side, circle your torso forward, and inhale all the way back up on the other side. Keep rotating. We're going to do 3 rotations in this direction with 3 breaths. Notice the space around your hips, your lower back, your belly. And once you've made it back up to a vertical position, change the direction of your rotation. Exhaling as you go forward, inhaling to come back up. Tuning into the space around the hips and the rest of your body. Once you're back at that vertical position, come onto your hands and your knees into a tabletop and start by placing your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Sometimes we think that our limbs and our hands and our knees are underneath us and underneath those points, but they're not. So just double check. And to warm up our wrists, what we're going to do is circle our shoulders around our wrists really slowly. Gently changing the pressure that we feel as we move. And change direction. And take 1 more breath here. And then to come up off of our wrists, we're going to bring our knees and our feet together. Sit back onto your heels and gently lift your knees up to stretch the fronts of your feet and lower yourself back down. Tuck your toes under and gently press into your hands to stretch the arches of your feet. And then come back to that neutral tabletop position. From here, we're going to do 5 cat-cows. Breathing in, drop your belly down, open your chest up. And exhale to press away. Keep breathing, keep flowing. See if you can deepen the stretch now. For your last cat-cow here, see if you can drop your belly down a little bit deeper. And exhale to press your back upwards a little bit higher. Then come back to a neutral position. From here, we're going to bring our right foot out to the right side, creating kind of a 90 degree with our feet. Then we're going to step our left foot back, coming into a bit of a side plank pose, bringing our right hand, our right knee, and our left foot in alignment. Lift your left arm up as you breathe in, and exhale to reach it over towards the front of your mat. Make sure that your right shoulder and right wrist are aligned, and to deepen the curvature in the left side, press down into the right hand and reach your left arm down towards the mat. Take 3 deep breaths here. One more. Good. Then bring your left hand parallel to the floor. Lift your left leg parallel to the floor. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, bring your left knee and your left elbow together. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it together. 3 more. Good. Bring the limbs back down onto the floor, and we're going to change side. So bring your left foot over towards the left side of your mat. Step your right leg back, making sure that your left hand, your left knee, and your right foot are aligned. Sweep your right arm up. Turn your palm to face the front of your mat and reach your left arm forward. Just check to have a look that the wrist is underneath the shoulder. It's when the wrist is forwards or backwards that we start to feel those pains in our wrist from yoga practices. So it's always good to stack the limbs. Press down into your left hand to extend and create more of an arch on that right side, and take 3 deep breaths here. When you're ready, extend your right arm forward, parallel to the floor. Lift your right leg up, take a big breath in. Exhale to bring the knee and the elbow together. Take 4 more breaths like that. Good. Bring everything back down onto the floor. Sometimes our hips can get a little bit crampy in the abductors. Yeah, abductors, which is the sides of the glutes, or sometimes it's even just our glutes that get tight. So to work into that part of our body, what we're going to do is come forward onto our hands and our knees, and then cross our feet over and come into a seat. Then bring your right shin or tibia parallel to the top of the mat. Bring your left knee to the edge of the left side of your mat, like so. Your left hip is going to lift here. What I want you to do is breathe into your belly and into your chest. And as you exhale, walk your hands forward until you find a stretch in the outside of that right leg. Take 3 breaths in this position. And what you might need to do is walk your hands further across to the left side to find the stretch that is right for you. So just change kind of which part of your leg your torso hovers over. Hopefully that makes sense. 3 breaths. Good. After that 3rd exhale, Press into your hands, lift yourself up. We're going to change sides. So bring your left shin parallel to the top of your mat. Bring your right shin onto the edge of the right side of your mat. And then tilt your torso forward. Find the stretch that feels right for you. And take 3 breaths. I really like that stretch, eh? After your 3rd exhale, press yourself up, come onto your hands and your knees, and from here, lift your back between your shoulders up towards the ceiling, then step yourself back into a plank and hold here for 5 breaths. Now I know we're moving relatively slowly, but we're just going to take this one last moment here to build strength in the core by coming into this plank pose, to ensure that when we move through the rest of our practice, we have a good and solid base from which to move. One that's engaged and one that feels strong. 2 more breaths. Good. Lower yourself down onto the mat. Use your knees if you need to. And press your feet down into the mat. Inhale to lift up into your cobra. Exhale to roll your spine down. Let's do that 2 more times, just gently warming up our backs. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling to lower down. Inhaling to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Good. Tuck your toes under. Inhale up into a plank and exhale back into your downward facing dog. Walk your downward facing dog on the spot here. Just stretch into your hamstrings. Should notice that you feel pretty strong here, and that's really because of all that plank work and all of those sort of side crunches that we did when we were kind of facing the sides of our mats. After you've kind of walked and stretched your hamstrings a little, come back to a still position, and from here, inhale to lift your hips and your heels up off the floor. And then exhale, bend your knees just a little bit and ground your heels down, send your hips back, press into your hands. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, grounding down, sending the hips back, pressing the heels down. 1 more. Good. Walk your feet left to right and start to bring your feet to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Let your head hang and your arms hang here to loosen up the spine and make sure we're not kind of going straight into a pose without being properly warmed up. Take your hands to your thighs. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, folding forward. 1 more like that. Breathing in. And exhale out. Good. Press down into your feet. Drop your hips down gently and sweep your arms forward and up as you breathe in. And then exhale your hands down through to your heart center. Good. Take your hands up again. And exhale them down. 2 more. One more. Good. Now everyone's favorite pose, Utkatasana, chair pose. We're going to sweep our arms up. And then as you exhale, bend your knees. Bring your hands through to your heart center. Send your hips back. Step your feet together. And just kind of sink into this pose. The trap that some people fall into is they curve their lower back. And it's not really what we want to be doing in this pose. We want to keep that core strong. So press your belly up against the back of your spine. That will flatten your back out. Can you see that? Then extend your arms out in front of you. Just bring them past your ears. Try to relax the tops of your shoulders so that you can stay here without cramping in and around the neck. And take 3 breaths. Sink deeper with each exhale. Find the strength in your arms on the inhale. One more breath here, breathing in and breathing out. After the exhale, fold yourself forward. Should feel pretty good. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, fold down, plant your hands, step back into a plank. Take a big breath in here. Exhale to lower down. Inhale up into one cobra, take it nice and slow. Press those feet down. Exhale to roll your spine down, power up on the inhale, exhale back to down dog. Good. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale to step it forward. Drop the back knee to the floor, sweep your arms up. Make sure that the front knee and the front ankle are stacked before you lower yourself down. Inhale to lift up. This time engage your glutes a little bit. And exhale to sink down. Inhale to lift up. Keep those glutes engaged. Exhale to sink down. Reaching up one more time. As you exhale, float your hands down onto the mat. Frame your front foot, lift your back knee up off the floor, sweep your left arm up. Instead of being passive here, press into that right hand and reach the left fingertips as high as you can. If you want a little bit more work in that left leg, press your left foot down. 3 breaths. After the exhale, sweep your left arm back behind you, come down into a framing of that front foot, step back into your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale into your cobra. Squeeze your shoulders together. Exhale to float your way down, power up into a plank, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, step it forward. Drop the back knee to the floor. Keep the right knee above the right ankle, sweep your arms up. Exhale, sink your hips down. Keep the glutes relaxed for this first one. Then lift up, engage the glutes, and sink down. One more. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, float them forward. Plant your left hand on the floor. Lift your back knee up off the mat. Sweep your right arm up. Keep reaching it up. Hold here for 3 breaths. One more deep breath in. Exhale, bring that right arm back behind you. Frame the front foot. Step back into your plank. Lower yourself down. This time, press your feet into the floor. Take your hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Reach your arms back and let the reaching of your arms back lift your torso off the floor. Try to keep your chin drawn inwards. Relax the tops of your shoulders. Take 3 deep breaths. And then relax your shoulders. Bring your hands beside you. Power up into a plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees left to right. Stretching into the hamstring. When you're ready, inhale, lift your left leg up, and then bend the knee, bring the left foot over to the right side of your mat, and try to drop your left shoulder down. See how mine's a little lifted here? You want to square your shoulders out. So drop that left shoulder down. Lift that left knee up as high as feels comfortable for you. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, step the left foot to the top of the mat. Good. From here, we're going to step the right foot to the halfway point in the mat. Toes pointing out at 45 degrees. Press into the front foot to lift yourself up. Cool. We're going to come into a pyramid pose. Parsvottanasana. Volkanasana, one of those. Take your hands onto your hips. And from here, the key is to try and keep your left leg straight. You can do that by engaging the left thigh and lifting the kneecap up. And then to breathe into your belly and your chest. And to think of moving your hips back as you tilt your pelvis and your belly forward. Nice. Once you find a spot where your hamstring is getting a pretty decent stretch, just hold there. Or you can bring your hands to your thigh. Take 5 deep breaths into the pose, into the stretch. Slow it down a little bit. Take one more round of breath. Good, and then bend your front knee. And from here, bring your fingertips down onto the floor. I'm just going to scoot back to the halfway point in my mat with my left foot. From here, what I want you to do is bring your hands nice and wide. So you're kind of forming a triangle shape with your hands in that left foot. Then lift up onto your right tiptoes and lift the right leg up off the floor into your warrior 3. Now you might want to lift up onto the fingertips, or you might want to bring your hands through to your heart center. Just find where this pose feels right for you, this warrior 3. And take one more big breath in and then out. And bring your hands back down onto the floor. And from here, we're going to roll our right hip up. Take our right hand onto our right hip. And just practice coming into our half moon. So look over to the right side of your mat, or if you lose your balance, look down at the floor. Lift your right arm up to the ceiling, and instead of letting it be floppy or passive, reach it up as tall as you can. Press that right leg, the floating leg, as far back behind you. Take 3 breaths here. One more big breath in. And after your exhale, fold yourself all the way forward. Both legs come down. Wrap yourself down around your legs. Inhale for your halfway lift. And exhale to fold forward. Good. Plant your hands onto the floor. Step back into your plank. Breathe it in. Exhale, come all the way down. Take your hands behind you. Again, let your chest lift up as your arms pull back. Exhale, lower down. Take your hands underneath you. Power up into a plank. Exhale back into your downward facing dog. Walk the dog on the spot for a moment. Check in with your hamstrings. And then from here, lift your right leg up, press the heel back behind you, bend your knee and bring that right foot over to the left side. To square the shoulders, drop your right shoulder down a little. Lift that right knee up as high as you feel is comfortable. Take another big breath in and exhale to step your right foot to the top of the mat. Good. Bring the left foot to the halfway point in the mat. Toes pointing out at 45 degrees. And then, if you want, you can shimmy that right leg back, bend the front knee, press into the front foot, and lift yourself up. Take your hands onto your hips. Engage your right thigh. Breathe into your belly and your chest. And as you exhale, remember to keep your belly and your chest in one nice long line as you bring your hips back and you fold yourself down. Once you feel that stretch in your hamstring, hold there. You can take your hands onto your thigh if you'd like. And take 5 deep breaths in and out. Just feeling into the hamstring. Seeing if you can slow down your breath. One more full breath in. Slow breath out. Then bend your front knee and bring your hands down onto the floor, coming into that triangle shape with the right foot and with your hands. Lift your left leg up off the floor, press the heel back behind you, and then see if you can come into your Virabhadrasana 3, your Warrior 3, for 3 breaths. Good, and then slowly bring your hands down onto the floor. From here, make sure that you've got that triangle shape. Lift your left leg back up, lift your left hip up, and try and bring your left hand onto your left hip. Have a go at lifting your left arm up, taking 3 deep breaths. Press the heel back, reach the left arm up. And then slowly lower everything down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good job. Take a hold of your elbows. Just sway your arms from side to side. Relax into your hips. Relax into those hamstrings. Take one more breath like this. Slowly release your hands to the floor. And then from here, take your hands flat down onto your lower back. See if you can breathe into your belly and feel the space underneath your hands inflate on the inhale. As you exhale, can you feel the space soften? And can you lift your hips up at the same time to increase the feeling of the stretch in your hamstring? Take 3 breaths like this, breathing into the hands, lifting the hips up. Then release your hands down to the floor, let them flop. Do a couple of yeses and nos with your head. And then really gently drop your hips down and come onto your glutes, your sit bones. Take your hands back behind you. Just drop your knees from side to side. Then come back to a comfortable seat. Gently bring your hips to your heels and roll yourself down onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest and circle them a few times to massage into your lower back. Then circle them the other way. And then gently bring your hands through the insides of your knees and onto the outsides of your feet into a happy baby pose. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and take 3 deep breaths. When you're ready, bring your feet together, extend your legs out onto the floor, and bring yourself to a comfortable Shavasana position. We're going to rest here for 10 breaths to wrap up the practice. Feel your shoulders relax, Your arms soften and your legs hang heavy here. Then simply feel the breath roll in and out. Feel any last tension drift out of your body. Feel the strength in your core, the openness in your legs and your hips. And the strength in your arms and your shoulders too. If you'd like, you can stay here longer or begin to wriggle your fingers and your toes. Take a breath in as you reach your arms back behind you and you stretch your toes out. And as you exhale, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Let's close the practice with 3 breaths of meditation to tune in and to feel the effects that the practice has had on our bodies. Bring your hands together, close your eyes, and focus on your breath as you breathe and meditate here. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and just feel what is happening in your body right now. Take a moment here to notice your energy. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you feel that there's energy flowing through your body and that there's strength in your core. Hope to see you again. Namaste. If during that practice you found that your balancing postures weren't as steady or as strong as you'd like them to feel, then you might like to check out this video. In this video, I explain what techniques I'm utilizing in how to balance and in how to make sure that I don't fall down and feel wobbly in my balancing postures. You can click on that video now, or you can save it for later.